probability. Combinatorics, a big word we learned last year. It was bad. Why? Combinatorics is just a study of how many ways are there to do some action. How many different ways can it be performed? If the classic example, if I ask how many ways can I arrange these 6 people in the front row, I'm asking how many different patterns are there. So combinatorics is concerned with the how many ways are there to do something. Then what? Anybody remember why that has anything to do with probability?
Like what's the probability of one sorted arrangement would happen?
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah. Probability then, back in the days of elementary school, probability was, what's my chances of picking a person wearing blue socks? But then we got to last year, well, what's the probability that I'll pick 2 people wearing blue and one person wearing neon yellow? We got to where you could pick more than one thing, and to figure out the probability, you had to figure out, well, okay, how many ways are there to do this in the first place? And so the combinatorics, the how many ways there are to do it, help us find the probability. So we are going to real quick revisit the combinatorics rules. I'm not going to get super excited about it. You won't see a lot of this come test time. The big difference was permutations versus combinations. Anybody remember the difference? Well, when you run them in your calculator, yes, one's P and one's C. The difference is if I ask you how many permutations of the front row are there, what am I asking you?
How many orders?
Yeah. I think of permutations as, I don't know if colors will work here. Permutations are patterns. So if you ask permutations, I want to know how many different orders could I put you in. Right, I could switch Adam and Simone and I would have a different pattern. But then I could also switch Adam, Simone, and Colin. I could sit here and actually to physically make all those patterns would be forever, trying to sit there and actually physically have these people sit in all the possible patterns they could make. So we need some way to figure out how many there are without actually having to do it. Okay. On the other hand, anybody remember what combinations do?
Like when you have like you want
Combine 2 things?
blue socks and red socks together.
Yeah, parameters for your selection, I guess.
Yeah. Combinations want to just know how many groups of things can I pick. I don't care how they're arranged. I just want to know, okay, how many groups of 6 people can I pick out of this room? I can have these 6. I can take from Sydney, Ruth, Simone, and take Michael. That'd be a different group of 6. I can see how many different groups of 6 can I pick. I'm not concerned about what pattern you're making, what order you're in. So the key thing is think groups. Yeah, a different group of 6 every time. Now, it could be just one person's different, but that makes the group different. But I'm not worried about making patterns out of it and all the possible arrangements. Okay, if you recall, combinations, there's only one way to do it. Permutations, it depends on the situation. And I have 4 rules here. Hint, these rules, I think, are on the back top of your journal.
What's the calculated formula?
4 rules for calculating. Yeah, I think.
Oh my God.
So, if you want to just arrange all the objects, you got 8 cheerleaders. How many different lines, different patterns can they stand in if they stand in a line?
8 factorial.
Luke says 8 factorial. You all buying it?
64.
Okay, you all remembering stuff. That's good. Okay, yeah, I'll do it the long way the first time. If you go to pick the first cheerleader, how many do you have to pick for to stand in the first spot? There's 8. But then pick the next person, there's 7.
Or no, it's 9.
I think you're mixing up with circular permutations. They would take one off if you're arranging them in a circle versus a line. I think that's what you're remembering.
We did original last year.
Okay, so but that's a pain to type in your calculator. 8 and 7 times 6 and 5 and 4.
Exclamation point.
Yes. Okay, the question is, where did they hide it in your calculator so you can do?
It's like by the question mark one of mine. I think it's
Right under the enter.
little bug, got all the symbols
Right.
on it.
Right.
Under the enter.
There's a high key? No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it is. Right there.
There it is, actually right there?
Yeah. That's what I was.
Oh, shoot, okay. Okay, so how do I describe that?
Oh, I think, oh, that, okay, I see it.
Yeah, that's the one I was.
Just hit enter. Okay, so did you all find it? It's to the right side of your keyboard. It's to the right side of the letter keyboard. It says pi, what's else on that P?
Mine's got question mark, exclamation point.
Okay, question mark, exclamation point is that key to the right of what letter?
G.
Yes, on the next to this, to the right side of the letter G on your calculator keyboard. You'll see your factorial key. And that was 40,320, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so cheerleaders, I expect you all to be in a different arrangement every single time you cheer. I want it written down who was in which order every time. We'll see how many you can make.
We're gonna be in school for a long time.
Yeah. They can't graduate till they've done all 40,320.
Actually, there's 9 and there's more than that.
Oh, is there 9? Oh, that makes it way worse. That takes you up to 360,000.
Have to do it every day. I couldn't buy $1.
Okay, so on your so on the journal, I want you to write, I'll arrange all objects, and the method is do that many factorial. So on your journal, I expect to see arrange all objects and factorial. Okay, now on the next one, suppose I want to pick a small group from a large group. So I'm sticking with 8 cheerleaders. But only going to have 5 at a time cheering. Building, they're doing some stunt or something, one lifting the other and somebody to spot. There you go. So 8 cheerleaders, you're only going to do 5 at a time. Okay, you can do it with the blanks. Because you could go, okay, I want to only use 5. How many would I have for the first spot? Then, but I can't use 8 factorial then, because that factorial always goes all the way down to 1.
The number, another symbol, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you remember the Npr notation?
Yep.
Yep.
So you would write it as I have 8 people to pick from. I'm doing a P for permutation. 8 people, permutation. I'm using 5 at a time.
That's probably under menu probability.
And that's under menu probability, yes.
Permutation.
You can hand type it.
Yes, the number in front must be bigger than or equal to the number in the back. The one in the back can never be bigger. It will tell you error if you do that. So these kind of problems are always done with the NPR. Now, your calculator, and I don't like that they changed this, your calculator when you hit it will put NPR and then it will put a parenthesis.
You put 8.
And you have to then put 8 comma 5 after it. I don't know why they wouldn't let you just fill it in those spots like they used to on the other calculator. Don't get that. Right, you'll hit the NPR and then you'll have to type 8, 5. A bit annoying. I don't suppose anybody did that and knows the answer.
6720.
Alright. Okay, so did everybody find it? Particularly you guys who haven't done it before? So go menu, probability. Okay, rule number 3. Alike objects. This is the one we're usually really good at.
Can you go back to the last page?
Banana.
Hold on a second. What did you want on the last page?
Pause it.
We'll pause it again.
That didn't hit once. You're not doing a pause. It's count down. Banana.
Put the banana stamp on.
Banner.
Okay.
Banana stamp.
I did it.
Yeah,
Okay, if it makes you happy to have a banana.
Banana.
Okay, I want to know how many ways can you arrange the letters in the word banana? And since I'm using all of them, you would think it's just 6 factorial, because I'm doing them all.
You guys got multiple.
Yes, but you'll recall if you do some letters twice, like switching the A's, is it going to make a different pattern?
No.
So you start out with 6 factorial, the total, but then you have to divide by something. You may remember what you do?
the same letters.
That'd be 3 and 2.
There are 3 A's, so you'll divide by 3 factorial for the A's, and 2 factorial for the N's. There were 1, 2, 3 A's, so I divide by 3 factorial, 2 N's, so I divide by 2 factorial.
Do we do anything with the 1B? Or did we do anything with the B?
No, the B wasn't repeated, so you don't have to do anything with the B.
One factorial is hit one.
So the general formula is the total number factorial divided by how many you have alike.
So the 3 and the 2, are those times?
Yes.
Yes, those are times. Yes, that is times.
60 is the answer.
60 is the answer? Okay.
So you don't have to like.
You can't use it.
Where did I get
So
3
you
and 2?
don't use that.
Then you use number 1.
Because it's how many you have that look alike.
So other times 3 and 2.
No, 1, 2, 3 A's. They look alike.
How do I find the A?
And N's, there are 2 N's. So like, what's another repeated letter word? Mississippi. Okay, so you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 11 factorial. But then you see I's happen 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 I's, so you divide by 4 factorial.
4 factorial, 2
One,
factorial.
there are 4 S's, 1, 2, 3, 4 S's that are the same. They are the same. So you divide by 4, another 4. And there are 2 P's. So it's the ones that look the same.
The same letter.
The same letter.
Which clock is right?
That one's dead. It's on battery. I need to change it.
Dang it! Clock is right.
Okay, so.
Thought it was 1.
So, for this one, you should have alike objects on your journal and this formula. That's the formula for doing alike objects.
What if you only have one alike object?
Then you don't need to do it. Don't do the 1. Yeah, I mean, you can divide by 1 factorial if you want, but 1.
No, like you only have like.
Oh, if you only have one thing that's alike, you'll just have one number on the bottom divided. Yeah.
You need the formulas on the other one?
And the journal, yeah.
Hey, just so you know, that was 34,650.
Thank you.
Whoa, you're not saying into this?
All right, 34,650 different patterns you can make out of the letters in Mississippi. Okay, the last one is kind of a twofold thing. If they say you can reuse something in your pattern if you can use a letter more than once, we call that repeated. Or sometimes they'll say a certain letter or a certain person has to be in a certain spot. If they tell you those things, then the only way to do it is draw the blanks and just fill it in. So for example here, oh, okay. Radio stations. Radio stations, call letters. We'll do the 4-letter kind. Are you all aware, have you ever noticed radio stations always start with only certain letters?
No.
K, they either start with K,
The first letter on the keypad.
K's or W's. All radio stations start with one of those two. I don't know if you set that pattern way back when, but somebody did. Okay, so the first letter has to be a K or W, but the other letters can be anything. Are they allowed to repeat the letters?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you repeat the K or the W?
Yes.
Yes, you can. So, how many choices then would you have for the first? There's only 2 choices there. But then the others can be any letter of the alphabet. So there's 26 letters. And Simone, I don't know, do you know there's 26 letters in our alphabet? Okay. So, and since you can repeat them, it would say 26 every time. Now, what do you do with those numbers?
Times them all together.
You times them all together, yes. Which will give you 35,152. And that's 4-letter radio stations. There are also 3-letter radio stations.
So eventually when all those patterns are used up.
Then they have to come up with another system or allow another starting letter.
That's a lot.
And I don't
What
know,
does the K or W stand for?
it used to be, the K's and the W's were on one side of the Mississippi or the other, but now they're all mixed. But when they originally started, I forget which one was which. K's were all on the east and W's were on the west or vice versa.
So on your computer, just put draw blank.
There's WIBW.
So on our journal, we put draw blank and fill in.
Yes, draw blanks. For this, your method is by drawing blanks.
94.5 is WIBW. KNZA. Oh, KNZA. On the west side. Yeah, I'm
Composite.